But I would also highlight that then among crypto assets themselves, that there are significant differences. And when we're talking about that asset that may behave differently, that may be a hedge against currency debasement, for example, that may be uncorrelated to stocks, we're primarily focused on Bitcoin. We're focused on its characteristics as an alternate form of money. We're focused on the fact that it's decentralized, that it's geopolitically neutral, and we're starting to see adoption in that sense. So that narrative of investment appearing among institutional investors, among public sector investors, among national governments. But we are still very early in that trend. And so it's not very surprising that in an environment where investors are rapidly switching risk off in their portfolios, that we're seeing some correlation between crypto assets and other asset classes.
Yes, last year, of course, there was a lot of talk about Bitcoin being the new gold, about it becoming a safe haven asset. When do you think we will see that happen then? Or perhaps what do we need? What needs to happen first?
So we've already seen an executive order announcing the creation of a U.S. Strategic Bitcoin reserve, and what that has done so far is allocating existing holdings of Bitcoin that the government has acquired through various law enforcement procedures to this reserve that will not be sold. There was some discussion in that executive order about adding to that reserve over time, if a way to do that can be found that does not bring additional cost to taxpayers. So we'll see over the next couple of months if proposals emerge or brought forward that carry that effect. There was a proposal made last year by Senator Cynthia Lummis, which aimed to accumulate 1 million Bitcoin over a period of 5 years, which would clearly be a significant, bring significant buying pressure to Bitcoin markets. That would be, for context, more Bitcoin than is actually produced on an annual basis, coming as a net new demand for the asset.
Welcome back to the channel. Aaron here from the Bitcoin Bros, and we're going to be getting into some Bitcoin, MSTR, and tariff news today. And this is the same FUD that we've been seeing. MicroStrategy filing says that they may be forced to sell Bitcoin below their cost basis to service their debt in the event of a continued market downturn. There's a lot of accounts over on Twitter, on X, even just articles coming out online talking about this, kind of just spreading MSTR FUD. So I just want to kind of debunk this FUD a little bit. This comes out on every single 8K for strategy. Every time they come out with their quarterly earnings statements, they have to include this in the 8K. This is due to lawyers reading this. They don't want to get sued. They have to be very transparent with what they're going to be doing in the future with their Bitcoin. This does not mean that strategy is looking to sell their Bitcoin because prices have come down. This is just a whole bunch of FUD, and it's causing a lot of noise over on Twitter, and I would kind of ignore this if you guys have been seeing this at all. And then to dive into the numbers here a little bit, you can see currently where strategy is holding at right now with the Bitcoin price of around $76,000. They have around $40 billion in Bitcoin and around $10 billion in debt when you add it all up, leaving them with a net capital assets minus debt of around $30 billion worth of Bitcoin. So they have a liability to asset ratio, leverage ratio of around 20%. So you can see historically where that has been. 12/31/2023, Bitcoin's price was 44,000 and their liability to asset ratio was 31%. A lot higher than where we are today. And if the Bitcoin price went all the way down to 15,570, that is the price where we would actually see the liabilities be worth more than the assets that strategy holds. So a lot of this FUD that you're seeing like this over on X, you really don't pay attention to it, because with this debt anyways, it's not like it's callable. It's not like if Bitcoin trades down to 10K, they're going to be margin called. It's not even like that. And you can see here the percent drawdown needed for the assets to be worth less than liabilities is 80% of the Bitcoin's price right now. So they have a lot of wiggle room. On top of this debt cannot be called. And you can see here, strategy is up a bit today, up 6%. We're at 252. We have Bitcoin at around 77.7. And we're going to get into some news here. So China responded to Trump's 104% tariff with an 84% tariff on all U.S. imported goods. I'm not going to get into if Trump is doing this correctly, if China's doing this correctly, who's going to be the big winner here, who's going to be the big loser. Just taking this from a perspective of Bitcoin, you can see how Bitcoin is not politically tied to any country because of how decentralized it is. And just some thoughts from some posts I saw over on Twitter. Justin says, I just had a terrifying thought. China dumps U.S. treasuries for Bitcoin because they're kind of tired of dealing with the U.S. They're tired of Trump. What if they dumped the U.S. treasuries for Bitcoin? That would be crazy, but that would definitely make the price of Bitcoin go up. And then Ben Workman says, for what it's worth, max global chaos might be the U.S. announcing a substantial Bitcoin purchase. So we have all this global tariff, trade war, chaos that nobody really understands what's going to be the implication of this, how it's all going to pan out. But in a world full of chaos, we do know that one Bitcoin is going to continue to be worth one Bitcoin, and we might start to see Bitcoin be viewed as a risk-off asset rather than a risk-on asset. People are going to really start to understand that it is digital gold. So tariffs really don't affect BTC because it is a worldwide international asset. And Trump says this is a great time to buy. He posted this over on Truth Social. So Trump is saying he should be buying into the market right now. Whether he's right or not, nobody really knows. It could be a great time to buy the dip. We're down big from 110,000 on Bitcoin down to 77K. That's a great opportunity to buy the dip. MSTR is down pretty big. These are great assets that you can buy at a discount. You can continue to dollar cost averaging at these prices. This is not financial advice. It's just some thoughts there. Getting into some Bitcoin news, we have BitFuFu. They announced their March 2025 Bitcoin mining and operations updates. They now hold 1,847 Bitcoin. In March, they increased their Bitcoin holdings by 47 BTC. So we're seeing a lot of these Bitcoin miners now start to have a Bitcoin hodl that they're going to be holding for the long term. So good to see there from BitFuFu. And that's really all I had for today's video. I have a clip that I want to share with you guys. You can see how these clips play into what I was talking about in today's video. A lot of political thoughts on tariffs, how that could affect Bitcoin, people talking about gold. Let's go ahead and check out this clip here. And thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. Like and subscribe for more content. My name is Aaron from Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one. And have a great rest of your day.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially